things have, I was going to say taken a turn for the worse, but they've been kind of taking that turn for a long period of time now. So we're not in, I guess, the most pleasant of spots for anyone to be in as we, I guess, go towards this final battle likely that we're going to have to go into. And nearly nobody or anything seems to be mentally in a state that allows them to operate the way that they wish that they could, the way that they should. And we have a lot of people kind of at odds with Celia and Gendo and everybody's own intentions of things and try and operate and use other people, and just it's been a disaster. It's all over the place. I have no clue how we're going to conclude this. I have no clue how we're going to even begin to present that. I mean, everything that happened in the last episode was not on the cards at all for me. So the fact that, you know, it happened, I guess that can happen again. So we just have to be concerned, I guess, going a little bit forward. I'm very excited to see. We're back to normal episodes. I guess the director cut ones are all over. So we have 2 more normal ones to go before we get to our movie. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me lots. May feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Let's get going with episode 25. Yeah. Your only real friend. So now what? Because he asked. The choice of music is insane here. Like, for a lot of the episodes towards the back end here, it's been crazy. Despite him even having part of him in it, he can't be the same as us. But what about the person standing before you? Yeah. Right. Kill them because he would kill all heirs. But also because he's an angel, right? Shinji's been on such a fun arc of I don't want to do this to, alright, let's do this to, I don't want to do this to, alright, I'm literally the only one who seems like I can do it right now to, once again, I don't want to do this. Why they always get trippy with these images, holy shit. Dying, possibly? Oh, yeah, that adds up. By literally anybody that observes you, I feel like. Entire life's been built around the way others perceive you. This is a crazy place to be in. Once again, just only do the things that others tell you. Appear to look good in their vision of you. If Ava started talking there, I would have lost my fucking mind. And you get told what to do, right? Hmm. Yep. Hence your constant question of, what do I do? Asking for somebody to tell you what to do. She's so easy at seeing through them because they're so similar. Mm-hmm. Yep. You see yourself in him. Hmm. Yeah. But the Ava needs you to open yourself up to allow it to work. That's crazy. I don't really know who I am. You're the most oddball case here. All three of you? So the way that others perceive us, that's fucking scary. The real you, the empty part of you. That's not wrong. That is not wrong. That is absolutely correct. That's everybody, though. You're the version that's been molded through experience and interaction through others. The thing is, he will now, though, because he doesn't really have a choice. Yeah. Exactly how he's treated how many people so far? So many. So the day finally arrives, and now you're afraid of what comes afterwards. And the day arrives. Ah, what a title. Do You Love Me can actually apply to literally every one of these characters with so many people. It's crazy. Which happened to be nothing, though. What the fuck?
そうよ。私たちの心には常に空白の部分、喪失したところが人である以上、永久に消えることはないの。だからって人の心を一つにまとめ、お互いに補填し合おうというわけ？だけど、あなたもそれを望んでいたのよ。ここ。
This is a fun presentation of it.
ですよ。と同時に、シンジ君の中にいる私の心というわけね。
僕は僕を見つけるためにいろいろな人と触れ合わなければいけない。僕の中を見つめなければ。
So through a combination of all, we're able to search as deep as we can and fill all voids and gaps of a person.
良い子にならなきゃいけないの。パパがいないから、ママを助けて私は良い子にならなきゃいけないの。ママのようにはなりたくない。パパがいないとき、ママは泣いてばかりだ。
We need to grow some sort of dependence, right? We can't be like her.
良い子にならなきゃいけないの。そしてパパに嫌われないようにす
The
る。
constant fractures in her.
父は嫌い。
And the things taping it together.
生まれた自分を見てみたかったのよ。だから抱かれたの、あの男に。違う、好きだったから。抱かれたのよ。
本当に好きだったの？
ええ、そうよ。
You're using him to fill that
受け
void.
入れてくれたわ。好きな男の前では平気で、いえ、むしろ喜んでこんな格好しているくせに。このありさまをシンジ君に見せることが本当は嬉しいくせに。嘘よ、違うわよ。どうかしら。本当は父親の前で見せたいくせに、カジ君のぬくもりに安らぎを求めていたのよ。違う。カジ君の腕の中に
父親を求めていたのよ。
While being somebody else, all the parts of them.
あの時カジ君の中に
She has mentioned that, and then you can kind of use him as the replace for plenty of things. Not saying like in a creepy way, as it seems like some of what they might be presenting, but more so you see himself in it. So embracing the warmth and everything you kind of get of it, the things that you've been derived of from your father and feel like you've been missing, you know?
優しいのね、カジ君。その優しさでお願い、私を汚して。
今自分が嫌いだからといって傷つけるもんじゃない。それはただ刹那的な罰を与えて自分をごまかしているだけだ。
私を置き去りにしたまま。
お父さんと同じ
The version of you who acts as though you've grown and done things, similarity almost to Asuka, but in reality,
私のことか。そうよね。
nothing's changed.
仕方ないわね。
やめてよ美里さん。
時々自分に絶望するわ。嫌になるわよ。認められているのは認められようと演じている自分で本当の自分ではないのよ。
It never is.
本当の自分はいつも泣いてるくせに
Usually the case.
私は幸せなの。私は幸せなの。私は幸せなの。
No matter how much you say it, no how different you say it, you're not gonna be able to convince yourself.
自分じゃない。そう思い込んでるだけなの。
そうしないと僕らは生きていけないのか。一緒にいないと怖いんだ。
不安なのよ。
誰かが隣で寝ていないと。
一人で寝るのが怖い？
やっぱり一人で寝るのが寂しいんですか？
心の喪失に耐えられないんだよ。
刹那的な逃避で心を癒したいだけ。
Hmm.
そのために男を利用しているだけなのよ。
It could be a thing too of we took in Shinji, and we also have a pet and somebody like Pen Pen, right? Similar thing that she brings up about using something else to kind of fill those voids and that pleasure and stuff. The things that you feel like you're missing within your life that she called out Ritsuko for her cat and stuff. A variety of things like that she's brought into her own life to feel like she's kind of filling that hole and those things that are there, telling herself that's what she needs.
一人で生きるの。パパもママもいらない。一人で生きるの。
And you want the opposite of that. Well, all the opposites.
でもまだ泣いてる。なぜ泣いてるの？
妙に大人で張り詰めた絶対的な拒絶があって、時々怖いんです。あなたそう感じたことありません？
いや、とにかく君はアスカの母親になったんだ。
その前に私はあなたの妻になったのよ。
同時にだろ。
社会的立場からはそうですわ。あなたはあの子の父親をやめられないけれど。
I can stop this if I want. That's fucking crazy. I mean, true, but if we bring this,
最初からいらなかったのよきっと。だからママと死にましょう。パパは私たちがいらないの。私は邪魔なの？いらないの？一緒に死んでちょうだい。私はママの人形じゃない。天井からぶら下がってたの。
took yourself without you.
その顔はとても嬉しそうに。
Something I've never been able to achieve.
とても嫌だったの。死ぬのは嫌。自分が消えてしまうのも嫌。
So try and find it while you're still here.
パパもママも嫌。みんな嫌なの。誰も私のこと守ってくれないの。一緒にいてくれないの。一人は嫌。一人は嫌。
Everything else that she just talked about and built up collapses immediately.
僕を見捨てないで。
私を捨てないで。
私を殺さないで。
これは何？
As the impartial observer watches on.
今自分で感じているものが事実でしかないわ。
あなたの中のね。
そしてその記憶となるものが君の真実。
その中の一つよ。
あなたが望んだ結果なのよ。
僕が望んだ？
そうよ。破滅を。誰も救われない世界を。
World where everybody is free and saved from the things that they feel that they desire and can obtain.
救えないわ。
これは 君が望んだことだ。
破滅を、死を、無への回帰を。
間と空間と他人と共にある君自身の世界のこと。
君がどう受け止め、どう認めるかは君自身が決める世界だ。
今は
It's like your own little safe space.
どうしようもないあなたの世界よ。
もう全て決まりきってる世界だろ。
違うわ。あなたが決めている世界なのよ。
君の心がそうだと決めている世界。
この半端な世界も全て僕が望んだというのか。
そうよ。
閉鎖された自分一人が心地いい世界を君は望んだ。
自分の弱い心を守るために。
自分の快楽を守るために。
これはその結果に過ぎないわ。
取り巻く世界の閉塞を願った。
Yeah.
嫌いなものを排除し、より孤独な世界を願った。あなた自身の
終局の中の一つ。
心。あなた自身が導いたこの世の終わりなのよ。
What the fuck? Pretty sick episode, I would say. I thought that was awesome. I have concerns or almost issues, I think, with it because a lot of it is things that are almost reiterated that we've kind of known and just presented in slightly different ways and really making them apparent up to this point, which is like, we probably should have done this a little earlier because we're going to have too many questions to be answered unless, like, you know, entirely was decided we need these next 2 episodes to do that, not have like a full final conclusion. And then there's a reason why there's a movie that's like the end of it all that kind of reworks some of the stuff at least presented within this as well. I think would make enough sense, definitely. But at the same time, it does feel like things that we have known and we could have expanded on a couple episodes earlier and built time to do things a little different. But anyways, I do think it was awesome. What was presented, well, I don't think a lot of new information entirely was. It's a really cool look into, I guess, the mind of each individual, and then Shinji himself being able to almost see others in the same state that he kind of finds himself in, and others being able to see themselves in the same state that he finds himself in, while nobody being able to fully, you know, grasp why certain people are the ways they are. And also a really cool look into like the deeper parts of somebody's mind, the things that they've locked away entirely, the things that they've tried to suppress, you know, no matter how much you change or how much new knowledge and how many things you kind of pull together over time and you expand yourself and you expand your mind, those things still kind of reside within you, even if they are just locked away somewhere. And how a lot of the things that you do within your life, even if you're not aware of what you're doing or why you're doing them, are all results of like these subconscious things and the things that you've memories and the experience and things you've gone through in the past that have altered and dictated what's brought you to the point that you're at today, which is pretty fucking cool. I mean, we get to see all the characters have like the exact same issues, right? Like all the same problems of wanting to be accepted, wanting to be perceived by others in certain ways, wanting to perceive that or be perceived by others in ways that they want to be perceived, if that makes sense. So pretending to be things that you're not actually doing, wearing like these layers, building up these walls, not letting others actually see the parts that you're, the ugly sides, I guess, that you could consider deep within you, and the real concern for a lot of that sort of stuff. And I think that's pretty fucking sick, how we can really dive into a lot of that and how different all their things could be, right? Asuka through her trouble with her mother, right, and her father and her whole family dynamic, and then the loss of her mother and the wanting to be different but wanting to be accepted, not wanting to be thrown away. Shinji with the same thing, not being accepted through family things, all of them, family being like a big central point of a lot of it, but just him not wanting to, you know, experience and think about all these unpleasant things, just wanting to be praised by the people that he feels like he doesn't really get that from, just wanting to be loved and accepted by others. Masato clinging on to men and using other people as ways to kind of get this warmth and these things from them, these pleasures and everything that can come along with it, but getting these as like replacements almost for the things that she feels that she lost and missed out with, especially when it comes to her father, and the way that she's had to almost act and treat herself or act for herself, being told, you know, to be a good girl and act certain ways over time, and how much that's kind of weighed on her and altered the things that she's kind of done, leading to who she actually is present day without her really realizing And I think they do a really cool job at presenting the questions. Why are you like this? Give an answer, and then be like, okay, but like why? And then being like, what do you mean? I just told you. And then being like, okay, but like how? And then start going into like the different like specifics about it, rephrasing the question in different ways and going into it a little bit more each time, pushing the person to like deeper really reflect on the things that they say and the actual intentions and meanings and actions and everything kind of behind it, which forces them to uncover a lot of things and these deep secrets almost about themselves that they don't actually want to be out there and don't actually want other people to actually witness and see, which is pretty fucking cool. And I actually really like that. And it's not anything that we haven't known, right? Maybe it was presented in ways that are like maybe things that I like say I didn't think of personally. And I never really thought of her using somebody like Kaji as a way for like Masato, this is as a way to bring somebody else kind of closer to her. And like when she says like in those moments of her like say like hugging him or doing something, it's like embracing that warmth almost of seeing her own father kind of in him. And it's like interesting because I've never really considered that. Well, I know that she has seen him in those sort of lights before, and maybe that's the reason why she's so interested in him, is because she feels she missed out on these things, or she can't fully understand him or never really knew until the end if he actually did love her or not, or like what his sacrifice kind of was for. And she's using somebody else that she sees this other person in as a way to kind of grow closer to it. But also her concerns of not wanting to be alone and wanting other people to kind of witness and observe this other version of her that's not actually her, and the act that she's putting on by surrounding herself with, you know, this pet and pen, by surrounding herself with somebody like Shinji and keeping all these people kind of close to her at home. Even if she can't kind of be left alone, like sleeping alone and all this, she still has somebody in that close vicinity to her that she knows cares and can observe her if that opportunity or time comes, and she always won't feel alone. I don't know. I think that's pretty fucking cool things to really do. It's not something that a lot of people really like to go into about themselves. You know, that's not, they never want to, and they always try and justify and find reasons why they do the things that they do when they're actually not, that's actually not the case, you know? And I mean, I'm a victim to that. Sure. I think everybody really is. And a lot of the times you may not really know what it is because you're not actually asking yourself the questions. You're not put in a spot where like you have to kind of uncover those things. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I really like the set of the flashing questions and stuff. It is a little hard to keep up and read all of them at times though. So the presentation of it, I think, could have been a little different, but I really do like the actual presentation of like us sitting in this room almost like on like a stage, kind of like the interrogation room that it is, while there's these other people, Shinji himself kind of watching from the other side and observing that as we go into each of the characters about so many different things about them, about the things that they've been through, the state that they're in, Shinji calling out and needing somebody to direct him, tell him where to go in life, tell him what he needs and what he should be doing, but struggling to really understand that about himself, that that's kind of what he wants, while Asuka trying to put him in his place and, you know, putting him down for the type of person that he is in reality is kind of the exact same. Ray calling her out for that and her not understanding, you know, being a useless pilot and all this. It's like, because you're not opening yourself up to allow yourself to be, and then Ray having to question her own existence, doing the things that she's kind of doing, who exactly she is, creating these memories. While she has fair points of like, yeah, I'm literally just creating things over time. I'm told I'm this person, so I'm acting out and doing things in accordance to what I'm told, but all the connections and memories and things I make actually alter and change who I am. True, but there's a version of you through the soul and through everything that was kind of implanted to create who you actually are that's kind of locked away and not being allowed to kind of come free here, and you having to go to the deepest parts of yourself to actually find that and experience who you are. Some of the visuals and the imagery and stuff here is really cool. Gendo, of course, using somebody else, where at the end of his mission, he doesn't need me anymore. What do I do now? Who else is there for me? Like, what, he's done this to so many people as well. Ritsuko being another one, her mother being another one, Yui being probably one of them as well. Like, so many people using them to a certain point, getting everything and squeezing the things that he can out of them. This is the scene that I don't think makes sense. And some of you have talked about in the comments over every episode basically of this, if we should do like, say, the movie before this, because this kind of spoils or explains things. So I'd like to make an assumption that this also might not be the case. This also could be like a look into somebody's mind, say Gendo, of like what he actually wants to do in the state that he wants to like put everybody in and what he wants to utilize them for. But it also could be a thing that like happens, say, in the movie, and it's being like put here to be like, what the fuck is like that, and doesn't really get explained or anything till we get to that point. But the assumption like I kind of come to is like a talking at the backstage of this of, okay, this is exactly what we want, or saying this is what is it like Shinji wants, this is the world and everything that he wants to create, showing or hiding himself from those dark parts of him, and due to that he's kind of closing everything else off around him, so everything that is left is just going to fill this void and create kind of this one being, create this one person who can kind of share and see everything in the same exact kind of way, but also will fill up all these voids and the holes and stuff within a person. It's almost like he kind of just like threw everyone, he like killed everyone or something, threw them all into like their souls and everything into like this one connection, this one grouping of like a person or something, this one state, and allowed them all to kind of come out here and create like that one soul that we have to almost like observe and witness, that Shinji's kind of having this like weird feeling for. I mean, I don't know entirely, there's nothing I can do. I love the imagery here of like having like this broken and taped up image almost of like what we're looking at Masato when she's younger, telling herself things and constantly adding and patching things up more and more, trying to hide the cracks, you know, trying to hide and disguise who you actually are, and seeing other people and who they actually are themselves, and using them for your own benefit and your own good, trying to act a certain way to other people, but in reality you're something else behind closed doors, not actually knowing what your happiness is, telling yourself that, but you're extremely insecure at the end of the day, and you have so many things that other people can even observe and see from, you know, their own inside, but not being able to outwardly tell you or say that. Really cool. And we do a good job too at fleshing out a lot more of the backstories in these things, where like we've seen these scenes and stuff before, but not actually gone like so much into detail. While we have at certain moments, but giving us kind of a new perspective on a lot of it, I think is pretty sick. And then we flip and see the outside, almost viewing it, the human instrumentality project that he's working on. That's where I kind of get that vibe from. It's like he's able to kind of reach this state and see everything within these people due to him doing something, possibly like we end up seeing to Ritsuko and Masato and stuff, all of them being ones who are actually on his, I mean, everybody being on his side here, on the outside here, looking into the creation of this world and everything that he wished for. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I couldn't even begin to tell you what it is, but it's crazy. Pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Not saying I feel grasped or picked up on everything, but I fully enjoyed that. Usually I go back and I edit each episode and then I watch the next one. But I think like, and I could be like overlooking and stuff, but I think like this one wasn't too crazy of like a let's present new things. While it had some things, of course, a lot of it is just like reiterated things that have happened before and just expanding on it a bunch more into like this analysis into like the minds of others, which is cool for what it is, but I don't think like requires me to really go back and do that, because I felt like there wasn't too much that I wasn't too aware of what was going on. So I'm probably just going to go into the next episode now and see what the fuck happens. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, all, like and subscribe to me on Hotmail. Feel free to check out the other videos and channel, leave comments with this episode or series. I'll be back for episode 26 very soon, because of a great one. Peace.